sharing and hearing stories about people who have helped us. I mean, thinking about people who have believed in us and make us feel like we matter, that's pretty special. It makes me think about how I do that for others sometimes. I'm quick to take someone's encouragement, but how do I show encouragement to others? And even if I do show encouragement to others and show them that they have value, how do I figure out who to help? And it makes me wonder, do you think there are times when we treat other people like they are more deserving of compassion or like they matter more than other people? Before you answer that question for yourself, let's look at a moment we find recorded for us in the Bible. After all, the Bible's a great place to start when we have a big question that impacts our lives. Today we head to the New Testament, to the book of John. Now, let's get ourselves set up for the story by getting our bearings a little bit here. So this is a map of Israel where our story takes place. Things were starting to get a little tense with the religious leaders in Judea. So Jesus decided to head back to Galilee from Judea. Now that we've seen a map, we know what that means. So check it out. So Jesus left Judea and went back again to Galilee. Jesus had to go through Samaria. So if Jesus had to go through Samaria, we would expect that as a Jewish man, he would go quickly and quietly. Don't talk to anyone, don't make a scene, just get in, get out. But that's not exactly what happened. Check this out. He came to a town in Samaria called Sychar. It was near the piece of land Jacob had given his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there. Jesus was tired from the journey, so he sat down by the well. It was about noon. Whoa! Jesus didn't just rush through the town. Instead, he sat down by the well and took a travel break. Now, to be fair, it had been a really long journey, and Jesus was probably pretty tired. So in the middle of the hot day, he sat down by a nice, refreshing well. A woman from Samaria came to get some water. Jesus said to her, "Will you give me a drink?" His disciples had gone into the town to buy food. Now, after setting up this story for a few minutes, this should already not sit well with us. No pun intended. Why? Right, Jesus was Jewish and she was a Samaritan. They should not get along, let alone speak to one another. And check this out, she knew it. The Samaritan woman said to him, "You are a Jew. I'm a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" She said this because Jews don't have anything to do with Samaritans. She knew the way she felt about Jews. She also knew the way Jews should feel about Samaritans. But there was definitely more happening below the surface here. Jesus answered her, "You do not know what God's gift is, and you do not know who is asking you for a drink. If you did, you would have asked him. He would have given you living water." Okay, now this is a little confusing. But Jesus was saying there was more than just water at stake here. He may be sitting at a physical well where he drew physical water, but Jesus began talking about living water. "Sir," the woman said, "you don't have anything to get water with. The well is deep. Where can you get this living water?" So we're not the only ones that are confused here. The woman was confused too. You see, the term living water in that time meant water that came to you because of its own power. Like a river flowing down from the mountains would be living water. A well that went down the underground stream would be living water. But Jesus, he wasn't really worried about the water that was in the well. He had a different living water in mind. Listen to this. Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but anyone who drinks the water I give them will never be thirsty. In fact, the water I give them will become a spring of water in them. It will flow up into eternal life." And it became clear that Jesus was talking about quenching a thirst that physical water couldn't. In fact, Jesus was talking about himself and the life that he had come to bring. But could it be that he had come to bring that kind of life to people even like this woman, a Samaritan? The woman asked Jesus for this special water he was talking about. And as they talked, it became clear that Jesus knew that there was more to this woman's story. You see, nobody came to the well at noon to draw water. It was too hot. Most people came in the morning before the sun was full blaze. You only came to the well at noon if you were rejected or were trying to avoid seeing other people. You see, not only was this woman talking to Jesus, a Samaritan, but she had a very difficult past. She did not have a great reputation in town, and Jesus knew it. But Jesus had compassion on her, and he still offered her living water. After a conversation about where and how the Samaritans have worshipped up to this point, which really was just a way for the woman to avoid what was really going on, Jesus brought the conversation back to the reality of what God is looking for. But a new time is coming. In fact, it's already here. True worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth. They are the kind of worshipers the Father is looking for. God is Spirit. His worshipers must worship him in the Spirit and in truth. This was a lot to sort out and understand. Can any of you make it kind of clear? The woman certainly had an idea. The woman said, I know that Messiah is coming. Messiah means Christ. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. And in a powerful and unforgettable moment, Jesus responded. Then Jesus said, the one you're talking about is the one that you're speaking to. I am he. Whoa! Jesus was declaring that he is the very one, the Messiah. And of all the places he could have been in that moment, he was next to a well in the middle of Samaria, talking with a woman with a bad reputation that most would say was not worth his time. On top of all that, Jesus offered her true life, the life that only he could give. Just then, the disciples returned from the town where they were buying food. Needless to say, they were shocked. But the woman's life had truly been changed. Check it out. The woman left her water jar and went back to the town. She said to the people, come, see a man who told me everything I've ever done. Could this be the Messiah? The people came out of the town and made their way toward Jesus. Did you catch that last part? The people came out of the town and made their way toward Jesus. Why? Because this woman went and told them her story. All of this started when Jesus was willing to look past what others would have seen in this woman and see that she mattered because she was a child of God. Jesus recognized her value even when nobody else did, and this made a huge impact. Not only did she personally change, but she also went and told her town, and they came to meet Jesus. Just listen to this verse that comes a little bit later in the story. Many of the Samaritans from the town believed in Jesus. They believed because of what the woman had said about him. She said, he told me everything I've ever done. This is incredible. This woman's story about what happened led so many others to come and meet Jesus and learn for themselves about the living water that leads to true life. Did her life matter? Absolutely. So today, as we close this one out, I want you to think about this key question. Who matters to you? Think about all the different people you meet throughout your week. People you know really, really well, and others you may only somewhat know. Consider the ways that you might be tempted to pick who matters based on things that may actually not matter. Think about things in your life that might cause you to overlook others in your life. Think about the ways you can help others see how they matter to you, but most importantly, how they truly matter to God.